Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Guys, if you are new here, then please take the time to click that little subscribe button down below. Get notifications on all future airsoft content from myself. It really does go a long way to help me and help the channel as we look to grow throughout this coming year. We have a great community building here and a great level of viewership, but something like only 6% of you are actually subscribed to the channel at the minute. So don't hesitate, click that little button now. And yeah, with that little bit of self-advertising out the way, let's begin. So today's weapon is an absolute CQB beast. It fares fantastically out in the woodland as well, so don't just peg it as a CQB weapon, although I would argue that is perhaps where this thing really shines. It's a firm favourite of airsofters around the country and around the world, I would imagine, and is a firm favourite of mine. In the real world, this particular weapon is used by countless special operations units. It's used by law enforcement and really anywhere where a tight concealed weapon is going to be in use. So today's weapon is the MP7. So what we have here is the Tokyo Marui MP7 A1. Now the A1 designation comes in respect to its folding foregrip here. There is an A2 available as well, although interestingly enough not from Tokyo Marui, which does away with this little folding foregrip and replaces it with an additional Picatinny rail at the bottom. But quite honestly, I do love this foregrip, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So let's make our way through this particular MP7 and try and convince you why you need one in your own personal collection. Right, starting up at the front as ever. Unfortunately, we don't get a 14mm counterclockwise thread as standard with the MP7. Tokyo Marui in all their wisdom have given us something that I believe is a 12mm positive. Interestingly enough, but these thread adapters are readily available, probably even more so than the weapon itself. One thing about the TM MP7 is that it's not short of its fan base out there at all. These things, pretty much as soon as they come into stock here in the UK, fly off the shelves. Which is why I had to go to the second-hand market for my particular MP7 you see here, which is a very safe bet, to be honest. These weapons are extremely well built and extremely easy to service as well. So as long as the owner seems genuine, I think even on the second-hand market you are pretty much assured of finding a good one. Right. As I say, once you've got this little suppressor up, or this little thread adapter up at the front, suppressors, tracers, anything you want, straight on, no problem at all. Moving back, we have the usual Picatinny rail system at the 3 and 9 positions. We also have elongated Picatinny across the top. I suppose you could deem it the monolithic rail of this particular weapon, although there's nothing quite monolithic about it, is there? This is a very short, compact package. The body of the gun is entirely polymer, as it would be on the real MP7 as well. But that's not to say that it's not sturdy. It's very well made, as you'd expect from Tokyo Marui. The quality of the polymer is really good. There is no shakes, no rattles, no twists, no creaks, no wobbles of any description anywhere on this weapon. You can rest assured. That aforementioned foregrip up at the front folds down just by use of this little lever in here as well. It extends down and locks into place really securely. I did have my concerns prior to purchasing this that obviously with age it would wear perhaps become loose, but that's really not the case. Again, it's just a testament to Tokyo Marui's quality and the level of engineering that goes into their products. So as I say, really nice. As with all MP7s, you get the little lip at the front here to ensure that you're not sort of extending out into the barrel range. Probably not a huge issue for us airsofters as much as it is for the real steel operators, but nice to see nevertheless. With the foregrip closed, you do have a couple of different options. You can actually, it's small enough and compact enough that you could feasibly C-clamp the entire front end. It's not the most comfortable thing to do. If anything, using the foregrip properly is probably the mostly widely used option. But I do have to admit, I kind of go for sort of like a half and half on a lot of occasions, C-clamping it with use of the grip just to extend my hand a little bit. That feels most comfortable to me. But of course, horses for courses, you would have to see what you want to do. In terms of controls, everything is really nice. Everything feels very well sprung from the bolt release. The trigger is really nice. The mag release down there. And obviously your fire selector is superb in its positive clicks. Again, a concern I did have would be that it would be almost too easy to flick between the fire modes and knock it into full auto without really appreciating the fact that you've done it. But that's really not the case. I mean, this thing is very audible in its clicks as it moves through, and you're very aware. It's very positive. If you do go down straight to full auto, you will hear the 2 clicks very audibly, and you just know you've done it. So that's always nice. To access the hop up, it's actually a case of pushing the trigger forward, and that will pull the bolt assembly back, and you can see the little hop up wheel just in there. So that's a very nice system. Not the same for all MP7s. I believe the KWA actually has a hop up system that's adjusted via the front port here. But I do really like the Tokyo Marui system. That being said, of course, Tokyo Marui are well regarded as having the best hop-up systems anyway, and I've got to be honest, this MP7 again is a testament to that fact. This is a very very shooting GBB. I had to think about that then. GGB. Comes in FPS wise a shade under 340. That's obviously in optimal conditions. Once it gets a little bit cold, a little bit wet, that power output obviously will begin to go down. But all in all, very nice package, very easy to work with, good rate of fire, very good at grouping shots as well. This thing has no trouble hitting a 14 centimeter target at 25+ meters, and being very consistent in doing so as well. Moving back along the body, or moving upwards I should say, as with all MP7s, you do get the 4 sling mounts along the top. One thing to note is I don't believe these are actually reinforced, so you are just working with the polymer here. I don't know that I would trust that too much. This is a really nice weapon system. I wouldn't want to drop it on the floor. I wouldn't want one of these breaking on me and ruining my game day. So perhaps don't use those would be my advice. Going back, obviously we have the charging handle which actuates the bolt. All very nice. Springs back. Good stuff. In terms of the brace at the rear, or the retractable stock, we have 3 positions with the Tokyo Marui at 6, 7 and 8 inches, and this is a really nice brace. shoulders really nicely. It's firm. You obviously, with this style of brace, you will receive a little bit of twist and a little bit of play. That is inevitable with this design. However, really solidly put together. You can really trust it. As I say, in regards to shouldering, really good. The other plus point with these sort of systems as well is that even when you're using a full face mask, it's very easy to get down low under the optic and aim down your sights. And that's true for a lot of these sort of gas blowback SMGs as well, but this is particularly good. Right. So, as we've already mentioned, maintenance is no problem at all. Like the real MP7, actually, you have the two little holes in the brace at the back there for your takedown pins to slot into so you don't lose them. Again, nice little feature, adds to the realism, I suppose. Magazines are also very good. We haven't spoken about those yet. Forgive me, I am very remiss. The magazines hold an adequate amount of gas. You will get through the magazine before the gas runs out. Again, on cold days, they can lose a little bit of power. You might not make it all the way through. So it's really going to be dependent on the sort of conditions you're playing in as to how well these gas up, as with anything really. A nice feature I particularly like as well is the fact that, as you can see, you can load the BBs via the actual chamber itself rather than having to use a speed loader to try and force them down the nozzle. It just makes life a lot easier. I don't know why a lot more companies don't do this, but yeah, something to think about, something to consider if you are looking at an MP7 from other manufacturers as well. It's just a quality of life issue as far as I'm concerned. As I say, the MP7 is a fantastic platform to use in CQB. It's very nimble, very agile, very short and compact if you're not running a tracer, or even if you're just running one of the little stubby ones so that you get the glow from the BBs. It just absolutely excels in very tight environments, as you'd expect, really. I can't say enough good things about this Tokyo Marui, if I'm honest. I don't have any real negative issues to report at all. As previously mentioned, in terms of reliability, it's an absolute workhorse if well maintained, and maintenance is pretty much as easy as it gets with these sort of systems. With regard to the magazines, if well maintained, you keep a little bit of green gas in them at all times, just to keep everything lubed up. I wouldn't say they're bulletproof. In the term that I've had this, obviously bearing in mind these were already second-hand prior to me purchasing the gun, or they were second-hand once I got it, I should say. I've only had one magazine fail on me inside a year, so they'd already lived out a good portion of life with the previous owner as well. So again, a testament to the build quality of Tokyo Marui, really. Right guys, that's been my look at the Tokyo Marui MP7 A1, or my love letter to the weapon, I should say. If this has been of any help to you in a future purchase or just a consideration at all, then as we've already begged for, please take the time to like and subscribe to the channel. Join the comment section, leave a little thumbs up, leave a like, comment down below anything you want to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.